Hi friends, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to go through the absolute basics of beekeeping, everything that you need to start beekeeping right now. Today is a beautiful morning and it's starting to get a little bit hot, so let's get right into it. The first thing I suggest is knowing whether you're allergic or not. There's no point in getting everything together, all of the equipment and buying everything, and then finding out you're anaphylactic allergic to it. Then you have to sell it all. So the best way I find to do this is actually go out and find a beekeeper. Find a local beekeeper. Somebody to help you, somebody you can follow along with and gain a lot of knowledge from. And in turn, hopefully, you can help them out with extracting or hive inspections or whatnot. I find it's the best way to learn how to beekeep. You can also learn from books. There are many different beekeeping books out there, all of which contain a lot of very good information, and I recommend at least reading through a couple of those anyways. The second thing that you are going to need is just make sure you have enough space to keep these bees. Hives need quite a bit of space, and you're going to want natural barriers in between your hive, your neighbors, and your own house. So big trees, walls, garages, anything. Bees are going to be attracted to light at nighttime, and that can go terribly wrong. Knowing from experience, it might not be you who get stung, it might actually be your housemates who end up getting stung and then getting really mad at you. So make sure you have lots of room to keep your bees, and it also helps to have a bit of weather protection and shade. So a nice big shady tree or something that you've custom built yourself really helps keep the bees safe, dry, and cooler in the summertime. The second most important thing, in my opinion, is protective clothing. You don't necessarily need to go out and buy a proper bee suit, but I do recommend at least having a veil, long sleeves, long pants, and very good footwear. So I normally just wear long rubber boots, and that helps keep the bees out of my shoes, out of my feet. You can get these suits for pretty cheap online, however, sometimes they don't last all that long. My solution to this is actually just to make some pretty spiffy cuffs. So it keeps the bees out and a little bit of a protective layer between yourself and your gloves. You're also going to want gloves. This is personal preference. You can use leather gloves. These are actually those hospital prick-proof gloves, latex gloves, I think. And they're great because you can still feel what you're doing, and hopefully you're not going to get stung through them, at least not too bad. You can either do that or you can do both. You can put two layers on, these gloves, and a leather glove over top. You can't feel as much, but at least you're not going to get stung in the fingers. A hat inside this veil helps keep the mesh off my face, hopefully so you don't get stung. Oh, it's a little bit tight. There we go. Perfect. If you have a helper, it's good to get them to help make sure that you've done this up correctly. You don't let any bees inside your suit. Also really helps to have the suit at least a couple of sizes too big. That way the suit won't be touching your skin and you're less likely to get stung. Just flaps down. All good? The next things you're going to need are the actual hive equipment and hive tools. So I've got a smoker here. While I don't really recommend this one, I bought it 4 years ago. It still works, so haven't replaced it quite yet. Just need a smoker that actually works and it blows a good amount of smoke. The next thing, most important thing, is your Hive Tool. It just helps This tool pretty much does everything. It helps you get into the hive and pry the frames out, which sometimes can be a bit hard because they're sticky and full of wax. Next are some horsehair brushes. These ones are a bit warped, but they help you brush the bees off the frames, off the honey frames, so you can put them into your tubs and bring them away for extracting. You don't want to bring any bees with you. That's a good recipe to get stung. So horsehair brushes, just brush them off. The next thing you're going to need are the actual hives themselves. So these boxes, the ones that I use are full depth, 8 frames in each box. So you've got the bottom brood box, which contains the queen. You've got the queen excluder there, and then I've got 3 boxes, honey boxes or honey supers on top. You've also got on the very bottom the floorboard, and on the top I've got a roof. The queen excluder just looks like this. Basically does exactly that. It excludes the queen from going up into the top boxes and laying eggs where you want the honey to be. She can't get through these spaces, so that helps keep her out. I've got a nice little table set up beside my hives so I can do stuff like this, put the frames down if I need to, put boxes down, anything just to help out. It helps to have extra workspaces while you're doing this. You also don't want to have your hives directly on the ground. So this is a system I have. I've put it onto a table, put the hives onto this table, and just put a tub with some oil around the legs so the ants actually can't climb up. You can see there's a bit of dirt around. We've had some big storms, and that's the reason why you don't want to put your hive directly onto the ground. It also helps the bees have a bigger landing area when they come in and out of the hive, and it prevents rot on the bottom on the floorboards. You want to have something, so a pallet, bricks, anything to keep the hives up off of the ground. This system works very well if you have ants. When you've taken all the frames off of your hives, you're going to need a few different tools to extract the honey out of it. I use one of these manual extractors. They can be a bit pricey, but they definitely make it easier and faster. You're going to need some food grade pails, some clean pails to put the honey into, and then from there you're going to want a strainer or a sieve to strain the bits of wax and other things out of the honey afterwards. So to actually uncap to uncap the frames, you have a couple options. You have a hot knife. I've used this before, but I don't use it so much anymore. I've got this little comb brush, which I find is faster and it works better. It's all personal preference again. You're going to want a tub to put the frame down onto while you're uncapping it. Something very simple like this, just a piece of wood. It's got a screw in the middle here. It sits over this tub, clips on, and then you can sit the frame down here and scrape it, which makes it very easy. Then it goes into the extractor where the honey comes out of the frames. You're also going to need wax foundation sheets to put onto the frames. This is what the frame looks like without the honey onto it. So you put the wax foundation on, and then the bees build the honey out from there. These are the tubs that I use to take the frames off and bring them back to be extracted. I recommend getting the heavy duty ones. It's nice to have the clear ones so you can see if you've brought any bees home with you, but they tend not to last so long. So get the heavy duty ones and you'll save your money. I also recommend not wearing nice clothes. Like wear something that you don't mind is going to get very sticky and very dirty. While you're extracting, you're also going to want a good amount of wet cloths laying around because everything is going to get very, very sticky. It's also hot and hard work. Make sure you have a good amount of water with you so you don't get dehydrated. A few other optional things to have while extracting are beer, music, and unicorn tights. So once you have all the equipment, or you can borrow it, the only thing left that you need are the actual bees. The cheapest and the easiest way, in my opinion, is to catch a swarm. If you can catch a swarm, that's great. That is done mostly in the springtime. If you can't do that, then you can ask a local beekeeper. They might have an extra hive for you. Or there is such thing as you can order bees and they will be shipped to you, which I have actually done. It's not as crazy as it sounds. Once you have the bees and the equipment, or you're borrowing it, you are off and running. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are a beekeeper, or if you'd like to be a beekeeper, let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, because I'll be doing more beekeeping and different adventures as well, so follow along. Thanks again, and happy beekeeping.